Invincible is a universe full of many colorful heroes with many different colorful abilities and storylines, most of the time. And the other day on stream, a viewer suggested that I do a tier list of every Guardian of the Globe, from the show anyway. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be ranking every single member of the Guardians of the Globe on this beautiful tier list from S tier to F tier, and then we have Immortal tier for obvious reasons. If you do end up enjoying this video, then definitely be sure to hit the like and sub button. Also, this is actually it's definitely going to be the last Invincible related video on my channel for now, at least until season 4 rolls around or the teaser trailer with the Burger Mart rolls around or something like that. But yeah, it's getting a little bit, a little oversaturated, and I don't really see too many videos about Invincible on the YouTubes too much right now, so I imagine most people are done talking about the show, so this is going to be my last Invincible video for a little bit. By the time you are seeing this video, it's going to be a Wednesday, so if you want to see my opinions on the Minecraft movie, definitely be sure to stick around until Sunday, because I'm going to be releasing a video about the movie, at which point you're seeing this video, I have already seen it. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get to this goddamn ranking. First and foremost, we have Immortal. He's a good fighter. I think we only see him win one fight on his own. We're not counting that fight with the Maulers in the very opening of the show. And that was when they were all getting called back to Guardians HQ. It's like, oh, who's calling us here? And he threw that guy into space. I'm pretty sure that is the only time we have ever seen him win a fight. So yeah, Immortal kind of sucks, and I'm not really invested in his character either. Actually, the future version of him that we saw in season 3 that Mark had to decapitate, that was the most intrigued and interested I've ever been in the Immortal. It wasn't even the version we're following. Next up, we have Darkwing. 1. He's Batman, pretty much. He's not a bad hero. He seems to, have the general same goodness about him that Batman does, maybe a little bit less violent, but, he's all right. He's inventive, but he's a little bit rude. He doesn't even thank Omni-Man for saving him from being crushed. As you can tell, I'm quite a fan. But yeah, he kind of is just Batman a little bit. I'm sure if I read the comics, I'd have a different opinion about him, if he's even more interesting in the comics at all. But yeah, I'm not a big Darkwing guy. I'm gonna be giving him a D tier. Next up, we have War Woman, who is the Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman of the Invincible universe. I just had a bit of a stroke there. I forgot who Wonder Woman was. I like that she fights with a big old blunt force mace. I like that. When I first watched Invincible and saw the initial scenes with the Guardians, I got the impression that the Immortal was probably the leader, because he struck me as like the quote-unquote Superman equivalent in this. Well, no, that was Omni-Man, but Immortal struck me as like the, I guess, Captain America, just leader of the superhero team. He struck me as that. But honestly, War Woman feels like more of a leader than the Immortal does. So for that fact and that fact alone, I'm gonna give her a respectable B tier. Next up, we have everyone's most infamous support hero, Red Rush. Look, if Red Rush just did his job, stayed in the back, moved people out of the way, the Guardians would be Omni-Man. That is the facts. He is not a frontliner. He was so stupid in that fight. But I must admit, I do like me a romantic Russian. But because he was really stupid, I'm gonna have to negate points and put him in C tier. Next up, we have Aquarius, the living fish person and now former king of Atlantis. His abilities are shooting water out of his hands, and he honestly seems pretty irresponsible. Yeah, he's helping out the surface world, but he is the king of an entire kingdom, and kinda just went and played dress up with the humans when he had an entire responsibility to rule a kingdom. So he strikes me as kind of irresponsible, doesn't really give a shit about his culture, not really a great king, not really a great Atlantean king. Maybe a great surface world hero, but he's a king and he doesn't really seem to take that too seriously. So yeah, Aquarius, you're getting D tier, but Darkwing has a bit more going on than you do. Sorry, buddy. Next up, we have Martian Man, who is surprisingly not the only Martian to ever serve on the Guardians as of present day. See, I actually like Martian Man. He actually sort of like played his part in the Omni-Man fight, trying to restrain him, but he also has a super gentle heart, and we learn more about that in season 2. And that cool like stretching, like trying to stretch himself and extend himself as far as he could, and having his like human like small friend like market, like that was just such a cute and endearing scene. I like Martian Man. He gets an A tier. Okay, next up we have Green Ghost, I think, because there's 2 pictures here. They both look like Green Ghost. I'm just gonna assume they're both Green Ghost, because judging by the picture, this looks like Green Ghost, same sort of shading around the eyes, and Green, yeah, like they must be the same, right? So we don't get too much out of Green Ghost. I think they could have been a little bit smarter in the Omni-Man fight. Also, like, I don't really get the whole thing, how eating the gem gives her the powers. Like, I don't know what that's about. Still though, the ability to sort of turn intangible and kind of like a ghost and move through places and turn other people that she touches into that same state to protect them, that's an interesting power. It's like having constant immunity frames. But I don't know why she just stood there looking dumb when Omni-Man was about to kill her. She could have just gone whoosh, and then have been fine. But I guess the shock-induced horror probably prevented her from thinking rationally. I don't know, Green Ghost is alright. I think I'm gonna give Green Ghost like a mid to high C tier. I'm gonna count both these pictures of Green Ghost because I don't know who that is. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say it's Green Ghost. And now we're moving into the second generation Guardians of the Globe. My favorite, I guess? Definitely my favorite. What am I talking about? Definitely my favorite. First up, we have Black Samson, who's a bit of a pompous and kind of overly I'm better than everyone because I'm the most experienced kind of guy at first. He was kind of just being a bit of an ass at first and being like, no, I should be in charge because yada yada yada, I'm entitled, blah blah blah. But then he sort of turned into this like genuine, like, he wants to make everything good. And it's like, even recent examples, season 3, after Invincible v Cecil, most of the Guardians left because like, that was messed up, Cecil, we're not gonna work for you after you did something like that. But Samson's reason for staying was, I can't fix the problem from the outside. And I really respect that, I really do. So Samson, honestly, you get a low A, my friend. I'd still like Martian Man better. He's just a little bit more endearing and cute, but I like you, Samson. You're pretty chill. Next up, we have Rudy, aka Robot, aka now, as of present day, legally named Rex. I really liked Robot in season 1. I really liked him in season 2. I mean, I like him throughout the whole show. I mean, I don't know what else to say. He's a bit weird and kind of struggles to be properly human after he gets his new body, but it's like very entertaining and funny in a way. Also, I just love the design of his drones and his like general tech style. I've always found that sort of aesthetic just really cool. Robot, you get an S tier, honestly. Robot/Rudy, he gets an S, no questions. Nor does our next Guardian of the Globe, no questions about it. Rex Splode. Probably the most interesting and well-written character in the show. Well, maybe not the most, but definitely like top 3 for sure. Cool powers, witty, good humor, entertaining, just the best. I love Rex. He's the best. He gets S tier. And next up we have Duplicate. I got a bit of a rant here. Small rant. I don't like Duplicate at all. When the Immortal said he wanted to have a family with her, it's like, it feels like it's supposed to be this big moment where it's like, oh, these two characters are finally doing what's best for them instead of what's best for the world or whatever, some grandiose, profound stuff like that. But I just had no emotional connection to that scene at all. The only time I was a little bit invested in Kate, even just a smidge, was in season 2. And that was because specifically of the locker room / gym scene where Rex and her were talking. In the aftermath of the whole shower thing, of course. But I don't know, I really like, from that scene, I really thought we were gonna get into like a deeper, more detailed part of Kate's story and sort of have her open up a little bit more, and this would sort of be the beginning of us sort of getting the full picture of her. That didn't really happen. Not really to the extent I expected it to anyway. Well, I guess a better Rex Splode story getting just better and all the other characters than hers, but still, I really thought that was going to be a stepping off point to where we were going to get more from Kate and actually get some like proper reasons to be invested in her. Even when they introduced Multi-Paul in season 3, I was more interested in him than I was in Kate. At least Multi-Paul was using his powers in some creative and interesting ways, like, you know, entity cramming his jail cell. But beyond that one locker room scene and the bit of a debacle with Multi-Paul when he came into the picture, I don't know, Kate always just kind of feels like that, oh yeah, my superpower means I experience death all the time, so that automatically gives me moral superiority and you inferiority, and you have to listen to me. That kind of like, I'm sort of better than you energy. Also, she faked her death, which like wasn't cool, but I kind of understand it at the same time, but she could have at least like, I don't know, left a note or told Cecil at least. Either way, I don't like you, Kate, honestly, like, yeah, Kate, I'm sorry, you're getting an F tier, Kate. I do not like her. But let's reverse the rails, shall we? Let's move on to a Guardian I do like, Monster Girl. Before I give my rant on like why I'm gonna give her the ranking I do, I wanna mention something that Luke told me like, I don't know, like a week or two ago. So Monster Girl's powers make her get younger by like a week every time she uses them, right? So if she doesn't use her powers for like 70 years, right? Like let's say like 70 years, she lives a full life, it's great, awesome. Could she then not just use her powers, like, just for a couple days or, like, a couple weeks straight, and then be, like, a teenager again. So wouldn't that make her effectively immortal? Like, I'm not crazy, right? Well, I guess this is Luke's theory, so Luke's not crazy, right? Like, she could do that, so she is effectively and by definition immortal, because if she starts getting old, or, you know, it's just, like, wants to get younger, I guess, and it's like, yeah, I feel like my body's not gonna like me for much longer, then he's aged down. Anyway, enough about that. I like Monster Girl because she's funny, her powers are interesting, and cause a whole, like, plot and subplot to happen, and, well, she's just very entertaining. Her dialogue and exchanges with Rudy after Rudy got his new body in season 2s and season 3s, like interactions in season 2 and season 3, top tier stuff, honestly. Also, her introduction to the show during the tryouts in season 1, beautiful introduction. Not only did it serve as karma for Rex, but also it was just hilarious. Yeah, I like Monster Girl a lot. Unlike Kate, I'm actually invested in her because there's a multitude of reasons to be invested in her. Yeah, I like Monster Girl. She gets an A tier. Definitely like her more than Samson. Definitely like her more than Martian Man. 100% getting top of the A tier for now. Next up, we have Shrinking Ray, who I have a multitude of things to say about. First of all, apparently, Ray was a man in the comics. I didn't know this. And secondly, I had like zero attachment to Ray for like the entirety of season 1 and the entire first half of season 2. When I saw how mad she got after Kate died, I was like, oh shit, this really is someone who cares about her friends and will stop at nothing to either avenge them or make things right. So that immediately, like, just her actions, immediate action of taking out that one Lizard League guy and then trying to take out the bigger one, which ended up almost killing her. That immediate jumping to action after seeing her friend get hurt was what told me, like, okay, this is someone who's determined to make right by their friends or avenge them if they die. And that kind of felt like the stepping off point from Ray's position. That's when I felt like, okay, we're gonna learn more and get more invested in this character. And I was absolutely right, because after her whole hospital thing, we then had the romance plot with her, romance and her wanting to quit being a superhero in season 3. And I thought it was fantastic. Imagine how conflicted she must have been after Cecil spent millions to repair every bone in her body and just put her back together when there was not much to work with. And then Cecil goes and does a thing like he did to Mark, and now she's all confused about like where's my place in all of this? And her coming to the conclusion that maybe I don't need to have a place in all of this, that was really good. I liked that. It was very effective. And man, her crying at Rex's funeral was just like, that was heartbreaking, especially after she was driving back to Teen Team during Invincible Wars and she saw the base just, and she was like, oh God, that was rough. But no, I really like Ray. She's great. I think I like Monster Girl a little bit more just because we get more of her, but Shrinking Ray still gets A tier, no questions asked. Next up, we have the most obvious named superhero in the entire show. No, not Invincible, Bulletproof. Definitely doesn't mean the same thing. I don't know, I have like a weird soft spot for Bulletproof. Him using the same costume that Mark tried out first when he first met Art was like, you know, that's pretty cool, and he actually pulls off the costume quite well if you ask me. But I also like his blunt honesty and just like unfiltered thoughts just coming out of his mouth when he does talk. That's one thing I do like about him. But he's also kind of a supportive character. Like when he first started speaking, like upon like first seeing him enter the show, and he called out Rex Splode and saying like, you come up with that grade school shit yourself? I was like, okay, this guy's gonna be an asshole, isn't he? But then he said, come on, man, I know you're tight. Do better. I was like, oh, okay, this guy actually seems kind of chill. So if there's one thing I'll give to Bulletproof, he made a very good first impression on me as a viewer, and probably many others as well. I wish we got a little bit more from him, but you know, he's very straightforward, says what he means, and then not much else. But he also does stand by his friends, like when he came back to rescue Rudy. Also, the guy who voice acts him, I cannot think of his name for the life of me, but his voice acting like performance is very good. But yeah, I like Bulletproof. I think I probably like him a little bit more than War Woman, just because ironically we get more with Bulletproof than we do with War Woman. So I'm gonna give him Bulletproof a B tier, which seems very fitting. All right, we're coming down to our last two. And of course, starting off, we have my boy, the Shapesmith. I fucking adore Shapesmith. Yeah, he made some pretty big mistakes, and it almost caused and might still cause a Sequid takeover of Earth. But man, this Martian has a heart of pure gold. He's smiling almost all the time. He tries to be pleasant. He's honest when he messes up, and his powers are really funny. Also, his like sort of like failure understanding of like human culture, like for the most part anyway. Like, he gets some things, obviously, but his sort of failure to understand, like, certain cues or social things, or, like, not understanding how a treadmill works, like, that just makes him very, like, entertaining and also endearing. He shares that quality with Martian Man. No, I really like Shapesmith. Honestly, I think I'm gonna give him a low S tier. I really love Shapesmith. He's fucking awesome. And now we have Darkwing 2. Darkwing 2, he's actually all right. He's not bad. His ability to enter the Shadowverse at least makes him a little bit more interesting than the original Darkwing. And his reform from murderer posing as hero to actual hero was like, yeah, pretty solid. I just wish we got to see a little bit more of that reform, but I guess the screen time was better spent on other stuff, and, you know, I completely agree with that. And he does actually seem pretty remorseful and genuinely like, man, I messed up in the past when we see him in season 3. Like, he's like, I made some bad mistakes, but now I'm trying to make up for it. Like, he actually does seem like genuinely remorseful for all the bad crap he did. He also sacrificed himself, as far as we're aware, during Invincible Wars to save the Guardians, at least the ones that were still alive. Well, I think they were all still alive, the ones at Guardians HQ anyway. So, you know, he's all right. I don't got too many problems with him. I definitely like him more than Green Ghost. I think I also like him a little bit more than War Woman as well. Yeah, I'm gonna give Darkwing 2 like a mid B tier. I think that feels fitting. But there you have it, my friends. My ranking of every single Guardian of the globe as of current. I don't think there's anybody missing on this tier list. Again, I'm pretty sure this is Green Ghost. I'm not actually sure who this is. But it was a bunch of fun. The Guardians have always been pretty colorful, and I've always been invested and entertained by most of them. It's also very fitting that I do this video whilst wearing my Omni-Man hoodie, which I recently got and will continue to flex for as long as I want, because he, you know, the Guardians. Still, I can't wait to get more of them in the next season, see how they sort of put themselves back together, literally in Shapesmith's case. But I'm curious to see who the new members will be in season 4, if that's a plot line we get, and I'm just excited for season 4 in general. You can definitely expect me to talk about the teaser trailer in the Burger Mart. I really wonder who is going to be sitting with Mark in the Burger Mart this time. Should we place some bets on it? Honestly, it might just be Mark and Eve in the Burger Mart, or maybe Mark and Oliver, perhaps. Oh, you know what? It actually might be Oliver, because it could show us how much older he's gotten between, you know, last season and this season. That could actually make sense. But I guess we'll just have to find out. But for now, this is going to be the last Invincible related video I post on the channel for a little bit. Sorry, not sorry. But either way, if you did enjoy this video, then definitely be sure to hit the like and sub button. I really do appreciate it. And like I said at the beginning of this video, if you're interested in my opinions on the Minecraft movie, be sure to stick around till Sunday. And if you really like what I do and you want to show me a little bit of extra support, then definitely consider becoming a channel member. Not only do you directly support me in the process, but you gain access to a whole bunch of exclusive rewards. Also, I have moved the early video access perk down to the cheapest tier. So if you want to watch my videos early and get member exclusive community posts for just $3 a month, consider signing up. Also, I would just appreciate it. Please, if you want to support me and help me keep this channel running, then please consider becoming a member. But that is going to do it for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, have a good day, everyone.